Take a look at another way of sharing our Google Docs. That's using this home interface. First, let's create our doc. Give it a title. Once you give it a title, it'll start auto-saving. And as you see me create this document, you'll see some of the features that you can use. Again, they're very similar to Microsoft Word and quite user-friendly, as you'll see. So we'll give it the title of sharing a doc from Google Home Interface. And then we'll go ahead and insert a table to create a little template for our lesson. Alright, so we'll have a preview, some lesson activities, and some questions we hope to answer by the end of the lesson here. So we're going to learn basically how to share Google Docs through using collections. And those collections can be found on the interface. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, lesson activities so far. We've created a document. So this document will show up in our home page interface. Obviously, as I write here, we're highlighting some document features. Then we're going to take a look again at some public share settings on the home interface page. And we'll share and unshare a document. We'll create a collection, and then we'll be sharing documents through that collection, as you will soon see. And you'll notice that it's very similar to the previous video, or lesson 1, concerning sharing documents. So the questions we're going to try to answer through this video is how a person can share Google Doc or a Google Doc from the Google Docs home interface. The other question is dealing with more classroom practicality, and that is, how do I get a document or an assignment that's on a document out to mass recipients or all of my students? And hopefully this video will answer both of these questions. So let's go ahead and check off the things that we've accomplished so far, creating a document and also highlighting some of the doc features. Alright, going back to the home interface here, you can share a document just like you've shared all other documents from Google Docs page themselves in a very similar manner. This is the home interface, and you click up there to view details to see who's created, at what time it was last modified. You can click the check mark here, and you'll see in the right hand bar you can give it a description for that one file that you've checked. So we've done lesson 1 and now we're on lesson 2. So those are our only 2 documents you see in our document viewer. So down below you can see how there's the organization link and also a sharing link down here in the lower right hand corner. You can share any document from this little section of your Google Home interface. Notice once you hit that settings tab, once you hit that settings link, everything looks the same as it did the first video or lesson 1 when you go to share. The other way is going up here to actions, and it takes you again directly to the same page, the sharing settings. These sharing settings are almost completely universal wherever you're at in Google Docs. So as you see, as we've talked about you can set your public settings just like you used to in the first video. And you can also share with specific groups, contacts that you've had from your Gmail account. You can click, take people out, put people back in. You can see I can let these people edit, change the document if I want, or just view. I can notify email. I'm not going to. But so it's pretty much similar to the last video as far as the sharing goes from this viewpoint, the home page. Again, the settings and so forth. Now, let's say you have these documents. You can share them one by one, like I showed you just now. And you'll notice that this document is private to me. Lesson 2, nobody can see it except for me and this account. So you'll also notice that I can see, I can toggle through the different things here on the screen. But here in the left-hand column is where I really want to be. And you'll notice that my collections, I have nothing underneath my collections or collections shared with me. So I come up here, create new, and I create a collection. A collection, again, is just a folder. It's the Google term for a folder. So you're collecting your documents all in one place, hence collection. So we're going to call this class docs. Let's say this is going to be a collection where I can gather all my documents and distribute or share them with my class or other recipients. If you click that arrow on the far right of docs of the collection, you're going to notice you have many different options. I'm going to change the color here just so it'll make it easier to see. And then you can share directly from that down arrow. So right now we've seen almost 3 different types of or ways that you can share from the home interface. So just like a document, I can share a collection. Now there's a benefit to this, and you'll see that in a moment. Same page comes up. I'm going to select my group that I want, my subject. And again, these contacts are imported from your Google Gmail. Now I'll go ahead and select all. And the concept here is all these addresses will be able to have access to this collection without me having to email them. Now I can email them and I will notify them. Here, I'm going to give them access to view only. These are going to be personal assignments, and you watch the next video and you'll understand how they'll become personal assignments. But right now, I just want them to be able to see the documents that I put in this collection. Now, once I make this collection, the settings for this collection will always be the same. So anything I put into this collection, the share settings will all be the same, all the documents, even if they weren't originally. So you're going to see me right now take these 2 documents. Right now they're private. Nobody can see them but me. I took all the notifications off, all the settings off, and again, they're private. Now, I can go ahead and share these. Instead of having to do twice, okay, I'm going to share this one and share this one. I can save myself so much time by just simply right-click, drag, drop right into the collection. The collection shared with those individuals that I showed you just a moment ago. When I share these, when I drag and drop these files into it, you'll see that the red tag comes up next to them. That means they're in that collection. And you can see in the bottom corner that private to me and 6 other people now, my class. So these people can see it. They can't edit, they can't change it, but they can see it. So anything you put into this collection will automatically change and into the settings that the collection has set. Now, there's other ways of sharing it with this collection. The first way obviously was dragging and dropping, which is my favorite. It's easy. And you can see if you go to collection, you see those two documents. If I go to all items, you'll see that collection and also the other two documents. Now, here's the second way of organizing. I can simply click Organize and then check the collections that I want these documents to show up in. So I don't even have to drag and drop. If I don't prefer that method, I can use this method. And now you'll notice that I unchecked them, or I checked them and then unchecked them. So now they are not shared with anyone. They're private again. I took them out of that collection that had the settings. Now let's go ahead and put them back in the same way. But let's do it from this side bar on the right. Same organize, same screen comes up. Just click on it, apply, and now you'll see the red tag show back up because I just checked the mark that I unchecked earlier. So really there's several avenues of getting to our settings page. Once there, the setting page is always the same, whether you're in the document itself or at the home. So let's say that this collection, I'm going to describe for whoever gets it, is a folder where I'm going to share my documents, my individual assignments with the students. They will then, in turn, be able to receive those documents and see them. Now they're not going to be able to edit. They're going to have to make their own copy. And the next video is going to go into how students can see these documents, make a copy, and then return that copy back to me as an individual assignment. So this is an avenue to distribute, again, the assignments that you're creating for your class. So let's take a look at what we've done. We looked at the public and share settings. Same setup, same sort of page pops up from home interface as does it in Google Docs. So we'll check that off. I showed you how to share and unshare documents, how to create a collection, and then how to share that collection, then how to adjust the view and edit settings in that collection, and then how to share documents using the collection by dragging and dropping or clicking the correct collection. So now hopefully you can answer these questions. How can I share docs using Google Docs Home interface? And how can I easily distribute the assignments to my students?